the truth.
In the opening ceremony of the Olympics, behind the same flag, and the women's ice hockey team will be the first with players from both countries. But is this just a Trojan horse? Here now to discuss is Asia analyst Gordon Chang. Gordon, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Heather.
So what do you think about this? I just want your, overall idea in terms of North and South Korea banding together in this march that they'll do during the Olympics, and also this ice hockey team. What does this mean?
Well, first of all, this whole Olympics participation by North Korea in the South Korean Olympics that start next month, it is in a sense a Trojan horse. The North Koreans are trying to use the Olympics to create a sort of pro-North Korean feeling in South Korea. They want money from Seoul. They also want Seoul to move away from Washington, in other words, to drive a wedge between the two alliance partners. So the North Koreans are up to no good. Now, with regard to this women's ice hockey team, as you point out, this is the first time that North and South Korea are fielding a unified team in a sport. And the one thing that this has caused a problem for South Korea's Moon Jae-in, who is sort of very pro-North Korean, is that most South Koreans, not only conservatives, but also his own political base, don't like this. More than 70% of South Koreans are against the unified team. And largely it's because South Korean athletes who trained for the last 4 years are being turfed off the team in order to make way for North Koreans. And people in South Korea, even if they like President Moon Jae-in, think that this is really unfair.
I mean, really, if you think about it in that way, it is. But I know you and I discussed before he took over as president there in South Korea that they knew coming in that he believed in negotiation with North Korea, that he believed that it was possible to discuss things with them moving forward, and that would be his strategy.
Yeah, so he was chief of staff to Roh Moo-hyun, who was the most pro-North Korean of South Korea's president. He governed from 2003 to 2008. Roh Moo-hyun had a peace and prosperity policy, which was essentially giving unrestricted amounts of money to North Korea over an indefinite period of time, because the feeling was that North Korea would eventually come around. But the problem is that during Roh Moo-hyun's administration and during the preceding one of Kim Dae-jung, what happened was the North Koreans became more provocative as they got more and more of Seoul's money. And so this has been proven not to work. It sounds nice, but as a matter of theory, but in practice, the North Koreans have used this very much against the South.
Right.
And now, if they were to get money from Seoul, which they are for the Olympics, they're going to use it not for athletics. They're going to use it basically to launch missiles, detonate nukes, and engage in other dangerous activities. So this is really going to be an issue between South Korea and the rest of the world that wants to see an end to North Korea's programs.
I wanted to ask you that finally, Gordon. How does that impact what we're trying to do, what the United States and President Trump is trying to do in terms of North Korea?
President Trump's main policy is to cut off money flows to North Korea. South Korea is paying the cost of hundreds of North Koreans who are going to attend the Olympics. There are just a few athletes, but there's a 140-strong art troupe, a 230 cheerleaders, a taekwondo instruction team, all the rest of these people, maybe 600-700, they're going to be paid for by South Korea. That undermines UN and U.S. sanctions.
All right, Gordon Chang, live for us. Thank you, Gordon. We appreciate your insight as always. We certainly do.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks.
Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank.